Welcome back, everybody. It would be remiss of me to pass up the opportunity to have a little jam with my old friend Alex Hutchins. And we have an excuse to do so today.
Absolutely.
Because our friends at Laney have released a new delay pedal. Alex is a Laney artist, and we both got sent these things, and we're both like, oh, let's plug them in and see what they do.
Absolutely.
Live on camera for you. So welcome back. It's
Yeah,
nice to see you again.
Nice to be back.
I can't believe it's been nearly a year since you were last here demonstrating crazy Roland synthesizer guitar things.
I know. Yeah, indeed.
But yes, Black Country Customs is the sort of the custom shop moniker that Laney put on posh things that they make in Birmingham.
That's right.
And the Difference engine is a new delay pedal from them, which follows on from the sort of the Black Country Customs more compact pedals that we saw 2 or 3 years ago. We are using them today. I've got a boost thing into the little Laney Super Cub. Alex has got more of a traditional overdrive pedal into two of the Lionheart amplifiers here. They make these, don't they? What have we got here? Secret Paths, and which are reverbs, and they make chorusy things and stuff like that over here. But what do we know, Mr. Alex, about the Difference engine?
Well, I had the honour of being invited up to the HQ when this was in development recently, just to have a little play around and come up with a patch of my own. I believe there's a lot of artists that are making patches for these, which is exciting.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we just came up with some patches. So I think essentially it's like what you would expect these days from a delay pedal. You've got the analog kind of tape echoes, the digital era, and obviously the dynamic, the more modern kind of modulated delays and stuff. So yeah, maybe we can just have a little play through a few. Let's start maybe with the patch I made. How about that?
What a great shout. So, just so we can tell people as well, you can obviously run delay pedals either into the front end of an amplifier or through the effects loop of an amplifier. Typically the rule is the more gain you're going to use from the amp, probably the nicer sound you're going to get through the effects loop. And we are running most of the gain sounds you're getting are through the amplifier. So what we've got he's got every single socket plugged in possible here, but we're using a stereo effects loop setup here. So the one of the left right path through there is the effects loop for this amp, and the right, did I say left right? Whatever. The left path is this amp, the right path is through this amp, and we're running it as an effects loop. So sorry, yes, please, let's hear your patch.
Yes.
Shades of Pink Floyd there coming through.
Almost,
I think.
yes.
Almost, isn't
as
it?
close as I get.
So, you still playing your crazy tuning as well?
Indeed, yes, it's some weird hybrid. I won't get into it now, but
Try not to copy the chords that Alex plays. None of them will sound right. Okay, so you mentioned before, I think it's fair to say that the world is full of delay pedals, right? And we've got affordable delay pedals and you've got expensive delay pedals, and I guess this sort of sits somewhere in the middle.
yeah.
Probably at the moment, you could separate pedals into delay pedals that are trying to just do one thing specifically. So wants to be a tape echo or a echo rec kind of copy or whatever. Or you've got delay pedals that are trying to be a bit of everything. And this is definitely in the camp of trying to be a bit of everything, right?
Yeah, well, like I say, I think it's trying to cover the three main eras, So like I say, of course, analog with all the tapes, the digital period, and just some of the modulation. There's a bit of modulation in that patch. Which keeps it up to date,
Cool. Well, look, now, I mean, I think let's just two or three of those kind of presets, because what's quite interesting on this Black Country Custom delay, and I can't think of it being done too often before, but there's quite a lot of artist patches in here, aren't there? So Tony Iommi, Larry Basilio, you've done one, our very own Pete Honore's done one, Billy Duffy's done one, and then there are kind of sound-alike ones.
Yeah, absolutely.
The one that you started on, Brian Rocks, I wonder who that could be.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's try a couple of other the sort of the patches that are in there.
Yeah, let's try it. I don't know, what was that concert, that famous one when he goes... I think it was the Seville 92 Expo, and it was the coolest thing. It's like... So that's the one. See, the finger wag is necessary when you play that patch.
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's just play
Summer's
around.
Moon, I wonder who that could be.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what, this one I remember liking. It's got a little bit of modulation on it, just so that kind of clean... So an example of that nice modulated kind of delay, which is pretty cool.
Let's just explain to people that maybe aren't familiar. You talked about the three types. So we've got the sort of the old, would have been a tape echo or some sort of mechanical echo device. Then going into the sort of the digital sort of era, I suppose, and then this sense of sort of duct delays. Can you sort of try and sort of in layman's terms explain perhaps what we might be sort of meaning? And
yeah, sure. Well, essentially, you know, digital delay, which is something that we all know and love, obviously you've got perfect repeats happening, and that was, you know, the 80s. It was like, right, let's get a perfect repeat, because the old tape delays, being a physical tape, they would sort of degrade every repeat. Therefore, they would sound a bit more muffled and everything. So they thought, right, let's bring it up to date, make it nice and clean, which had a particular sound. And of course, in life, like retro fashion and all the rest of it, it comes back around. People said, I like those idiosyncrasies. Yeah. Let's now try and replicate that again. So that's essentially the difference between the tape, which is kind of inherently bad, if you will, you know, but we've all become accustomed to it. So it has to be replicated here, you know. And
then duct delays, do you want to just explain what that is?
Yeah, I guess that's something, from my understanding, you know, the way that when you play, the sort of input sensitivity, it's the delay is kind of pushed out the way with the main guitar, and then as you stop playing, it rises in level. So there's more of an interactive experience with the delay. Yeah. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, that's my kind of general understanding of it as well.
I'm glad.
I think it's important with guitar especially, I'm a big fan of reverb and delay, but I know when I listen, if I record in the room, I can have as much reverb and delay as I like, and I get lost in it, and it's fantastic. But the minute you hear back something you've played, particularly if you're playing within a band context, it's very, very quickly to go, oh man, I've put way too much delay and way too much reverb on there. And the duct element of it kind of helps, just while you're playing, the machine itself goes, I'm just going to, you know, reduce the mix of the delay and then when you stop, you know, just instantaneous, as soon as you stop a part, it'll go, and now I'll just let the delay kind of you know, come in. So it's a really helpful feature for using delay.
Absolutely.
Let's I've just realized where the nut is on your B string. So now I see what you mean.
So I'm in fourths. I'm in fourths. I've just got to play this scale for you. So if I play a pentatonic, this is how lovely it is. But if I do it in... So that's in fourths, but I can still play an open E because of that. It's a bit crazy.
That is mad.
Hybrid tuning.
Is Tom Quayle, he does something similar, doesn't he, in terms of his
He tunes in fourths, so but that's just regular, you know. Right. And in fact, the only reason I did that is because when I did that Stephen Wilson tour, a lot of his music's in standard tuning, and I wouldn't be able to play it in fourths. Yeah. And after learning the whole album in regular tuning and doing the rehearsal, I thought to myself, I don't want to play in standard tuning. So I had the idea to do this, called my luthier and said, can you do it? and he made it within 6 months, and then we were on tour, and I relearned it all in this tuning.
Have you ever seen that before on a
No.
guitar?
No,
I don't
no.
think I've ever seen it.
No.
Do you know what? That almost makes sense.
I know. Yeah.
Oh my God.
We'll have to do this on a Captain Meet
Have you
sometime,
patented it?
'cause-
I almost feel that could be like we've had fan fret and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It almost feels like that might be a thing.
You can make it move.
Yeah. Well, I did originally ask if it could be clamped so that I could go between the two, but we didn't have time to go that far. So yeah, interesting.
Oh, like a B bender.
A B bender, yeah.
Wow. Right. Anyway, okay. Let's do another one.
Move through a few other patches here.
Gilmour, come on.
Let's see
we
what that
can't-
sounds like. You know. My own version of.
It's really interesting though, isn't it, over time, how artists like David Gilmour, but I'm thinking even like Albert Lee and stuff like that, the delay is such, if you took out the edge, I guess is another,
Yes.
if you take the delay effect out of the player, it's like, that's not how the song goes.
It's like Bill Bailey did a sketch like that.
Did he?
Do you ever see that? And he sort of plays this really great thing, and then he goes, "See, it sounds like this," and then he goes, "Look, without the delay." Makes a whole joke about it. But no, that's cool. That's cool. Let's should we try a few others?
Yes, absolutely.
Let's see what we got.
We'll try one or two more, and then we'll sort of go into maybe some of the editing side of it, and because there's quite a lot under the hood in this, isn't there? So.
Absolutely, yeah. So let's see.
That's a good example because as you're playing, you really can't. Sorry,
Yeah.
if you can't see, we're on a dynamic sort of duct setting, and all the time you're playing, there's really no sense there's any echo going
That's
on at
right.
all, is there?
Exactly. So. Yeah, quite satisfying.
Yeah, good patch.
Yeah,
good
definitely.
patch.
I'll tell you what, one that I find kind of fun here. It was called Max Delay, so presumably it's the maximum the pedal goes to. And I thought it's always fun, and I'm going to test myself live here, to just play it, listen to one repeat, and try to guess the timing. And so I don't know. Let me see.
This is what guitar nerds do instead of crosswords or anything
yeah,
like
exactly.
that.
Let's try it. So I get one chance.
Okay.
All right. So let's have a listen. No, I can't do it. I did at home. I nailed it. I was like, yes, that'll look cool.
But
and then
we'll do a little sweepstake here. How many milliseconds did you think it was?
Oh.
And you guess as well, and then we'll go into the edit menu and we'll see what it was. I reckon it was about. I reckon it was about 3,000 milliseseconds. Like maybe 2,756
We got two others in the room. What do you reckon?
I have no idea. I wasn't paying attention.
Oh.
2,500.
You are not allowed to play because you were very close. 2,500.
Yeah. So that's a useful stat, right? So it has a maximum delay of 2.5 seconds.
Absolutely.
Wow.
So a bit of fun. How to embarrass yourself
That's
live in
loads.
front of an audience. Right. A couple other things.
So sorry, you just went past a verb. So is there reverb and
Oh look, ducker.
pong ducker?
I think we're going to
Yes,
have to try
absolutely.
that now, aren't we? Woo! Well, I'll tell you what. Let's turn this off.
Yeah,
in the
turn
app
the reverb
and
off. And let's see if it
what's
gives us
happening.
any reverb. So this is like old-fashioned delay where they would
Yes.
almost use it as a sort of an alternative to
Exactly,
reverb, wasn't
yeah.
it? So,
Let's try the ducking, see what we got
Hong
here.
ducker. It's great advice. Always duck.
Nice.
So let's just look inside a typical edit menu. I mean, we literally could be here all day going through different ones, but we might as well have a look because it's got. I mean, I don't know how important a feature this is to you guys watching here, but it has an OLED display on it, meaning it's very visually clear, and it does that nice thing that whether you're standing looking at it from a really obtuse angle, what's the word? I can't remember what the right word is. Or whether you're looking right over the top of whatever, you still see the display very clearly, which can't be said for other types of LCD style screen. But yeah, so what are you've gone into the main edit mode, have you now?
Yeah, so you simply got your time, depend, multi-head. If it's on a tape delay, you can change that. Obviously your mix, and you can use these quick controls up here, or you can edit it. This is a push button as well, so you can go in like this. So yeah, you've got your repeats, color, and some extra
Routing,
features.
modulation,
modulation.
compression.
So depth, rate, let's try it. So you can hear it here. I guess if we put the rate down, that will sound a bit more satisfying. Let's do it like that.
Oh, that's clever.
Yeah. And now let's turn the depth up. Yeah, so you can really get into it. Yeah.
And where else were we from here then? So we back out of, I know, which one?
Yeah, this one is to back out.
Oh,
yeah.
I see, the
so
mode button.
routing.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of options for dry, wet, all that kind of stuff.
Wow.
It's pretty
Gosh.
comprehensive.
Switch the phase on the outputs there for using two different amps with that are out of phase with each other.
And we should probably say actually at this point, obviously MIDI. So any guys that have got foot switchable stuff, big pedal boards, you can just select the patches.
I think we just stop, Alex, on the MIDI side of things. Now we may have early versions of these. This right now today, this pedal hasn't been released, so who knows? There might be a firmware update between now and then. But one of the things that we did discover was it's not terribly easy to switch between, say, patch number 1 and then patch number 10 or something a bit further down the line. That's of course where MIDI would be perfect because you could, but it's worth just saying it has two modes of operation. We're in preset mode, as you can see up here now. If I hit these two together, you can see we are now in what's called live mode. And what happens is these two buttons do something different depending on the mode that you're in. So live mode is the traditional on and off, and then over here this works either a tap or a freeze button. And then preset mode, this is where you literally go up and down through the presets. Now if you do need to go a long way, you can in fairness hold this down and it reasonably quickly sort of jumps through them. But I kind of feel probably, I suppose, from a live perspective, if you're not going to use this in a MIDI setup, you're probably going to want to literally just stay within one or two kinds of delays, aren't you, so that they're all fairly quick to access. I don't think you're going to want to be going, quick, this next song needs me to be on preset 27,
Yes.
But it might well be, again, I think we were sort of saying to Laney it would have been useful had this main edit knob been able to just basically go through scroll through the parameters.
I mean, there is a way actually I just discovered. So if you go into preset here and select it, you actually do get into that mode, which is great.
Oh, okay.
So that does actually
so you might leave
help.
it permanently on that kind of mode for jamming at home and messing around at home.
Absolutely, and that is actually a really good, quick way of doing it. And actually, I may just mention at this point that you can actually put an expression pedal. So I've got one down here, and literally you can control that delay level, and that's just straight out the box kind of thing. So I've got my foot on the pedal right now, no delay. I can bring it up. So that's quite a nice interactive feature, you know.
Presumably you can assign any of the parameters to the expression pedal.
Yeah,
Cool.
exactly, yeah.
I mean, the bits that dullards like me like are, if we just go back into its normal mode, these 4 controls are just sort of instant access, always, you know, mix, number of repeats, tone, and color, which color is that sort of, I guess, how much modulation, how much wow, flutter and stuff would be on some of those tape echo kind of sounds. So there, you know, what's quite nice is you are straight into, oh, actually, and the main edit button when you're in that main mode, is the length of the delay. So you know, pretty straightforward to use. It looks pretty funky. It looks like something out of Stranger Things, don't you think? Do you like Stranger Things? That sort of
it's got a cool
80s
vibe.
Neon,
Matrixy sort of vibe.
Maybe.
I thought what might be fun. I did see a preset on here that would be fun to try, and just to embarrass myself again, basically. So why not? Because I've done it once, and that is patch number 28. Anyone recognise this?
Bumblebeeee. Oh, come on, flight of one.
Well, you know, I'm going to mess it
up.
up.
We've got distortion, okay. So you need
let's
more
see if
distortion.
I can get,
Yes.
So, wait there, 1, 2, 3, Now, if you can get it with the right distortion and stuff, it is a great effect. But normally, you know, he's got that metronome going tick, 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 tick.
Yeah.
Which is actually more of a, rather than the backing track, I think it's a function, because without that, it's incredibly hard, you know, especially when you don't have it. But anyway, some cool little ideas in there.
Did Nuno Bettencourt originally do that? Or
Yeah,
was that
I believe so.
So he was because I know it's been done loads of times by other, like as in copied loads of times.
I believe so, yeah, and it's quite an ingenious take on the Edge kind of vibe on Overdrive, as it were.
Another guitar player who I just want to say I don't think he gets the credit.
Oh
he
man,
deserves.
He's so badass. He's amazing.
Yeah, he should.
What a
I mean, I
dude.
think he probably is up there with most guitar players, but I don't know. People seem to talk about other guitar players more than him.
Maybe because he was sort of hidden in the background of the band, but us guys, we all love him. So
crazy player.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think there's a great deal else to tell you guys about it. I mean, of course, you know, there's tons of other stuff, and I'm sure there'll be official videos on the Laney channel. Money-wise, I don't think it's been 100% finalised there, but change out of £300 in UK money, I think. How much change, I'm not so sure. So click on the links below and we'll find out. It's launched at the beginning of June. I don't know if we're putting this video live on the launch date, but if we are, happy Jubilee Day to the Queen, because I believe we're on the bank holiday then. Something like that anyway. And happy Jubilee
Cheers,
Day.
Liz.
Is that a thing? Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Well, thank you very much, Alex, for stopping by. That is a cool looking guitar as well. I guess you can go and find out more about Waghorn guitars if you so wish.
Yeah.
That's your little guitar of choice for the last few years, isn't it?
Yeah, indeed.
Laney Lionheart amplifiers. We've not probably shown them as much love as we should do on this channel. So yes, you want to find out more about those, again, links below. Onwards and upwards. Oh, did I mention as well, if you liked the sound I had at the beginning, I'm going crazy affordable with the Super Cub, my sort of one of my favourite little affordable valve amplifiers, and this lovely Chapman ML3 guitar as well. We done?
Yeah.
I think we are. Au revoir.